Imagine waking up tomorrow with zero procrastination. You sit down to work, and your brain doesn't resist. No urge to check your phone, no sudden desire to clean your room, no endless, just 5 more minutes. You simply start. For most people, this sounds impossible because for chronic procrastinators, something strange happens the moment they try to begin an important task. Their brain suddenly becomes a master of distraction. Everything feels urgent, except the one thing that actually matters. But why? Why does the mind sabotage the very goals it claims to want? To understand this, we need to step inside the mind of a chronic procrastinator. A chronic procrastinator usually begins the day with good intentions. They make plans. Today, I'll finally start working on that project. Today, I'll study. Today, I'll fix my habits. For a moment, everything feels possible. But then the moment arrives. The moment where they actually need to begin. And suddenly, the brain whispers something dangerous. You should start, but maybe not right now. This is where procrastination begins, not with laziness, but with a tiny negotiation inside the mind. Inside a procrastinator's mind, two voices begin arguing. The first voice is the rational planner. This voice knows the consequences. It says, if you start now, you'll feel better later. Future, you will thank you. But there's another voice. The second voice is the comfort protector. This voice cares about one thing, avoiding discomfort. And important tasks almost always come with discomfort. Uncertainty, effort, mental strain, the possibility of failure. So the comfort protector suggests a deal. Let's relax for a little while first. You'll start when you feel more ready. And this deal feels reasonable, so the brain accepts it. The most dangerous word in procrastination is later, because later feels harmless. Later feels responsible. Later feels like you still care about the task. But psychologically, later is often just a polite form of avoidance. The brain creates the illusion that you will act in the future, but in reality, the emotional resistance remains exactly the same. And when later arrives, the brain repeats the same negotiation again. Here's something strange about procrastinators. They are rarely relaxed. Even when they avoid the task, a part of their mind is constantly thinking about it. The unfinished task sits quietly in the background of their thoughts. Psychologists call this the mental open loop effect. Your brain dislikes unfinished business. So even while you're watching videos, scrolling, or chatting, a small voice reminds you, you should be doing something else. This creates a unique emotional state. Not relaxation, not productivity, but a strange mixture of guilt and avoidance. Interestingly, procrastination is extremely common among intelligent and creative people. Why? Because the more you think, the more possibilities you imagine. And with more possibilities come more doubts. What if this idea isn't good enough? What if I fail? What if someone judges my work? Instead of confronting these fears directly, the brain chooses a safer path. Delay. Procrastination becomes a psychological shield. If you never fully try, you never fully fail. But there is another powerful force influencing the procrastinator's mind: dopamine. Your brain constantly searches for activities that provide quick rewards. Social media, videos, games, notifications, each one delivers a tiny hit of pleasure, and compared to these instant rewards, meaningful work feels slow and difficult. Your brain begins to prefer easy stimulation over meaningful effort. This doesn't mean you lack discipline. It means your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do: seek pleasure and avoid discomfort. Over time, something even more damaging happens. Procrastination stops being a behavior and becomes an identity. The person starts telling themselves, I'm just a procrastinator. I always leave things until the last minute. But identities are powerful because once your brain accepts an identity, it begins acting in ways that confirm it. Breaking procrastination often requires changing this internal story. Instead of saying, I am a procrastinator, you begin saying, I am someone learning to act despite resistance. That small shift changes everything. Most productivity advice focuses on motivation, but motivation is unreliable. The real solution is much simpler. Reduce the psychological weight of starting. Instead of committing to finishing the entire task, commit to starting the smallest possible action. Open the document. Write one sentence. Read one page. 5 minutes of action often dissolves the resistance that hours of thinking cannot, because the brain fears starting, not necessarily doing. Chronic procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a conflict between two ancient systems in your brain. One system wants growth, progress, and achievement. The other wants comfort, safety, and certainty. Both are trying to protect you, but the life you want usually lies on the side of discomfort. And every time you start, even when your mind resists, you slowly teach your brain something new. That discomfort is not danger, it's progress. So here's a question for you. What is the one task you've been avoiding lately? And more importantly, what is the smallest step you could take toward it today? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring psychology, human behavior, and the hidden patterns of the mind, subscribe to Think Games, because here, we break down the mental games shaping your everyday life and we learn how to win them.